I've got an insane XRP update. Also, we have information from Consensus. We have Tom Emmer dropping bombs about the SEC. We have the UK government moving towards stablecoins. There's so much in this conversation, so I hope you enjoy it. Let's learn something together. I'm Crypto Sensei. Let's go. All right, so US Congressman Tom Emmer destroys Gary Gensler. Let's listen to what he said.
Gary Gensler has been the worst thing that could ever have happened to the SEC. He has gone way beyond the authority that he has. He literally violates the mission of the SEC every day. What the SEC is supposed to do is we want capital investment. We want new opportunities. And these guys are trying to stop him. His open door policy is the biggest crock of you-know-what that ever existed. It's literally, come on in, tell me what your project is, and then we're going to sue you. The problem here is that he has lost repeatedly. And as we've seen in the last month, his colleague in the Senate, both of them are starting to, they've lost their credibility.
Well, are they defanged? Does that mean, from your view, they're defanged? In other words, the crypto agenda is winning? Is it tactical? I mean, let me put it this way. If he's approving Ether ETFs and he's approved Bitcoin ETFs, so we see how they've taken off, does it matter if he's in that job for you?
I'd be very careful about trusting a cornered animal with nothing to lose but its life. Gary Gensler's on his way out. I think
regardless of who wins the election, do you think?
I think he is. Yeah, I think
so
he is. I think you've seen him lose
Yeah.
favor with the administration, and that's why you have a Chuck Schumer who literally leads the charge for the Democrats in the Senate to get rid of this foolish Sob 121.
Yeah.
All right, that was interesting. Tom Emmer, no holding back. I kind of like it. No holds barred. So Crypto Barbie posted this. Swift launches new cross-border tracking solution. So if you're not familiar with Swift, Swift is the current banking system that we currently use to send money. Banks, it's a collection of banks. It is slow. It is costly. They have been updating it because of DLT. I mean, basically they need to be able to compete or they're going to fall by the wayside. So it says Swift has set out plans to help financial institutions streamline cross-border experience for their corporate customers. The company has also extended ISO 20022 across the entire payment chain, giving banks ready-to-use white-labeled tracking services that can be activated for customers. So why is this? Some payments that you send, banks actually lose track of them. They can't track them from A to B sometimes. You know, the other bank has to say, hey, has the funds been, hey, Gary, have we got that $1 million yet? No? Okay. That's kind of how the conversation goes. I was there, so I know. But that's what we're dealing with. All right. From Eleanor Terrett, the lovely Eleanor Terrett. New from Ripple. Ripple leads political push to second $25 million donation to crypto super PAC. Ripple is investing into the super PAC that gives money to people that are pro-crypto, whether they're Democrat or Republican, which I really, really like. Look at the leadership and the directors on the board at Ripple. It doesn't get bigger, okay? Of course, you have the great Brad Garlinghouse, which I would love to interview you, Brad, please. David Schwartz, also a king there. Monica Long, she's done incredible work for Ripple. Thank you, Monica. And then you have John Binch, and he used to work or works Morgan Stanley and Sunrun. You have somebody from Yahoo, and AOL. Eric Van Mittenberg, looks like another person from Yahoo and AOL. Microsoft and Amazon. Indigo, TM, don't really know much about that one. American Express, I definitely know about that one. Spend too much money, if you know what I mean. Man, my Amex bill at the end of the month is always so much. I shouldn't have gave my wife an Amex card. That was a mistake. You have Tesla. I mean, it's just so many incredible companies, so many incredible people. You also have Rosie Rios, who used to be the Treasury of the United States. A lot of money that was printed back when in the Trump administration, she printed it. Her name is on the bills. You have Sandy O'Connor here. Of course, you have Chris Larson and Mashi Okiyama. Excuse me if I got that wrong. AMC Banking Group and Atomic Settlement. We see today in most asset markets which exchange the settlement with T+2. We're doing it into T+1 or in 10 minutes, which is really cool. Let me play this, and I have a graph to show you after.
Our key and perhaps oldest customers, 100-year-old customer, who's quite innovative, asked us to mint an Australian dollar token for them, which they used on an exchange to buy a digital asset. And from there, we've progressed through a number of different live transactions, including with CBDCs in Australia. We've tokenized carbon. And so we've always got an eye on finding assets which our customers feel would be valuable to tokenize and then initiate transactions with our stablecoin to prove that we could really, truly deliver atomic settlement, which is instantaneous and simultaneous exchange of assets on chain. And compared to what we see today in most asset markets, which is exchange and settlement with T+2, we were doing it in T+0 or in 10 minutes. So for us, that was a real revelation.
Remember, T+2 is like the settlement is the trade, and then 2 days to settle. A lot of these institutions are moving to T+1, and we're trying to get to instant payment, instant settlement at the end of the day. I really like this graph that XRP Drops posted here. You can see here, this is the GTB in market leading transaction banking, #1 partner of choice for digital transaction banking transformation programs. You have Accenture here, Ripple partner connected to a lot of companies, institutions. You have Gartner here, ITE, Celent, IDC, SIA, Forrester, IBS Intelligence, Global Finance, Gold Class Award. There's a lot of connections here, and it's really interesting to see it all put together. I want to show you at the bottom. So he actually posted this tweet with this. It says ANZ Bank and its Ripple Back Payment Solution Best Bank Award and Product Innovation Award in 2018. That's really cool. All right, so what is going on in the UK government, right? The UK government has recognized that stablecoins pave the way for faster and cheaper payments. Let's play this.
The UK government has recognized that stablecoins pave the way for faster and cheaper payments, and that the use of stablecoins has been on the rise for some time. The UK government reported that in June 2020, the value of transactions in stablecoins exceeded Bitcoin for the first time, and we're seeing continued growth of stablecoin use. So certainly from the UK perspective, and I think it's also true from the European bodies and certain other regulators and governments, is that if there can be appropriate standards of regulation imposed, then stablecoins do have the potential to play a really vital role in retail and cross-border payments, including settlement, and to deliver things of speed and efficiency and resilience. I think you already see that in the market with the likes of private crypto asset companies, digital companies like Ripple using XRP as a bridge currency. Money, and the big differentiator they have in the market is that they're doing it in 3 seconds rather than 3 days to move international payments. So asset companies, digital companies like Ripple using XRP as a bridge currency to move money, and the big differentiator they have in the market is that they're doing it in 3 seconds rather than 3 days to move international payments. So I think your asset companies, digital companies like Ripple using XRP as a bridge currency to move money, and the big differentiator they have in the market is that they're doing it in 3 seconds rather than 3 days to move international payments. So I think you're seeing a lot more. I also think that you see in the crypto ecosystem, stablecoins being effectively the cornerstone of liquidity. If you deal with crypto asset firms, that is.
Why is Ripple going after the stablecoin market? They are going to launch their own stablecoin, and then what are they going to do? They're going to offer stablecoin services to everybody. That is the plan. I have foreseen the plan. All right. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. All right. The IMF is looking for public settlement assets cross borders. We can build good cross-border payments, ? Let me play this. It's 39 seconds. Let's get through it.
I think the role of the public sector is not just rules and regulations. In fact, it's also about building public goods, building infrastructure. There is no public settlement asset across borders, and thus the pain points that you all know well in cross-border payments. And the question, I think, a really interesting question now is, can we build a public good for cross-border payments? Can we think about a settlement platform that might grow central bank reserves in order to transfer them from one bank or participant to another, and thus do settlement?
Now, let me ask you this question. What central banks trust with crypto companies, right? The crypto market is filled with bad actors and scams. Any central bank is going to want to deal with a company that has been in the space for a decade or 8 to 10 years. They're going to want to deal with a company that has infrastructure on a token, that has a great, fantastic community like me and you, also has liquidity. That's a very important part. We know that Christine Lagarde used to be the president of BIS, and now she works for the European Central Bank. But we heard her talking about Ripple and Stellar a long time ago. We know that they understand the technology, and this is just getting exciting. XRP drops this. The importance of the EVM sidechain and Ethereum for Ripple and the XRP ledger. Ripple and Fubon's Bank settlement of tokenized assets as part of the EHKD pilot, EVM sidechain Ripple CBDC platform. Ripple stablecoin RLUSD, Ripple Labs USD, will be available on the XRPL and Ethereum. Why? Because they want to bring that liquidity over, right? There's $100-something billion in Tether. There is, $30-something billion in Circle. I do think over time you are going to see money coming out of Tether into a real company, right? If you like Tether so much and you keep your money in Tether, let me ask you, do you know who runs Tether? Have you seen them? Are they out on Twitter, or are they at these events talking about Tether? No, it's a very kind of sketch operation. So what does this look like? Here's the design and architecture. The key architecture components were broken down logically and aligned with the solutions provided by each of the Project Victoria consortium members as follows: decentralized infrastructure and CBDC platform, Ripple CBDC platform, and EVM sidechain, lending protocol, Cody Lab, lending protocol, real world asset tokenization, property land, Toko, tokenization engine, custody technology and services, Hex, trust custody services. So you have the blockchain on the very bottom, right? You need the bridge, Ripple on both sides, Toko and Hex Trust and Fubon Bank. Love to see how that's laid out. And then you also did have this from Cypress to Monaco, Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas. This is May 8th, 2024. PDF talking about digital wallets and instant settlement. Eventually, they will roll out a CBDC. I personally believe that the states that rush out and do this and create a CBDC are going to be much better off than the states that finally get around to it, down the line. So this is what they put out. This is the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas. Here's the date, payments systems research briefing. As you can see here, they have the digital wallet P2P app, right? This is extremely important for the new financial system, to be able to send money from person to person instantaneously for pennies. That is why we hold XRP, and that's why we believe. I'll see you next time.